Hey, look at my.
Hey.
That's the one I did, right?
Nothing's falling out. Nothing fell out. Dang, come on.
It is Monday. Sorry, I'm holding this weird. I'm also holding my mug. So I rearranged my room at the end of the day, Friday. So let me show you. So my tables are now in groups of 6. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 groups instead of 7. Well, yeah, 7 groups. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I mean, I like the space that allows me to move around more, and I'm not tripping over book bags. I only have 1 group of 4, but the other groups are groups of 6, and most of my classes, because students have changed schedules or they've dropped out, not dropped out, but unenrolled from this campus and went to another campus, my numbers have gone down. So I have a couple classes that take up all the chairs, but then I have some classes where they're less than that. So I'm gonna actually get ready to go make copies for today. I decided that I am going to cover a new topic this week, stoichiometry. This is the week leading up to spring break. However, after spring break, we have 2 more weeks before students take the English ELA end of course exam. And we actually, after spring break, we start prepping for testing season. Many of my students are in AP courses as well, so they have beyond just end of course exams to get ready for. They also have their AP exams to get ready. So I'm going to actually lose a few days of instruction for some of my students. Well, actually many of my students are in several AP courses. So I just decided to go ahead and just do stoichiometry. I think I can do it effectively enough that they will remember at least the main concepts when we come back from spring break. So I'm gonna go make copies. So my copies are done, finally, after 10 minutes battling that evil machine. Sometimes they're weird, like it's just a different drawer, like if you switch it. So, a paper tray, I guess that's what they call them. And so like, it just kept jamming and jamming. As soon as like I would hit, copy and it would feed through the machine, it would jam. And so I spent like several minutes sitting there pulling the stuff out. Finally got it to work once I switched paper trays. So other than that, like it's almost 8 o'clock. Actually, it is 8 o'clock right now. So I know some of my students come early, but I'm gonna have them wait because I was doing some last minute changes to the seating chart. One of my periods, the students, actually I haven't moved, my second period, I haven't really moved them at all year because they like where they sit. But now I'm gonna have to move some of the students I moved some of the students because of the way I rearranged my room. With that said, I'm gonna take care of some stuff up in the back and I'm gonna get ready for the day. School's over. I'm actually gonna get ready to go home. Overall, everything seemed to work fine with the new seating arrangement. I had the seating chart posted up at the window outside by the door, and students came in, they sat. I'm still a little bit like, hey, trying to fill it out, like whether I like it or not, but there is more room. Like I have all this space right here in the middle, so I can stand here and I can reach all the students. For my 8A classes, my first period class took up all the grouping areas, and my second and fourth period only took up the first 4 tables. This table right here was empty, both second and fourth period. I need to finish looking at my seating chart for my B-Day classes, but with that said, I'm going to head home. It's 5th period. I actually just came back from doing my, no, you can't see me, TELPAS rating, and I mentioned TELPAS in a previous video, but I didn't explain what it was for those who aren't in Texas. So here in Texas, for English language learners, they take this test that measures their English proficiency in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So it's equivalent to how students in content areas that they give a test at the end of the school year, like an end of course test. That's basically what TELPAS is, where they test their proficiency in English. And so 2 weeks ago, I had to have my students, I gave them a prompt and they had to write a 1-page paper over that prompt. And I had to give it to all my students because you can't single out your English language learners. Hey, you guys go over here and I want you to write this 1-page paper over this prompt, while those who aren't English language learners, we're gonna go do something else. No, we have to give it to all the students. So I gave it to all my students, they gave it to me. I made copies because you're not supposed to grade or write on it. You're supposed to turn in the original sample. And then basically we're having like this rating party where people go up and they read whatever students they were assigned, and they have to read the writing samples and they have to rate them. So that's what I did. I didn't finish because I needed to come back and do some stuff here. My room sort of is, I voted. Today was voting here. That's a great thing about working at a school, is that it's a voting location. So I didn't register early because I knew that they were gonna be here set up, so I voted this morning when I got to work. Anyway, so my lava lamps are back here. My innovation station area, some guy came to take a look at it after school yesterday, but all this is sort of a mess right now because the innovation station is connected to the wall right there, so he didn't start doing it. I started moving stuff for him, but I think he was ready to end his day, and he kept asking me like what times during the week I wasn't teaching. So I told him this morning, obviously, but it didn't look like anybody was here this morning because everything was the way I left it after school yesterday. I'm gonna get ready for 6th period. Wednesday morning, I stopped by the store to get some balloons because my students are going to do a lab today, stoichiometric balloon races or stoichiometry balloon races. So I'd set, in the process of getting all the materials set up. I should have did it yesterday, but I was tired. I went home. Flynn, which is a science supply company, they actually have it as a demonstration, the activity itself, but I figured I would rather have the students do it. So they're gonna work in pairs, 3 pairs. Each pair is going to have 2 different samples or amounts of baking soda that they need to measure out. All the students are going to measure out the same amount of vinegar, but different amounts of baking soda. And then 3 pairs are going to get together because they have samples 1 through 6 different amounts of baking soda. Put the baking soda in the balloon, attach it to a flask, and then they're going to dump the baking soda into each of the flasks. So flask 1 through 6, and they can see the concept of a limiting reactant, but then I'm gonna actually have them do some calculations to practice more stoichiometry. So with that said, I'm going to get everything prepped because it's 8 o'clock right now and that clock is still wrong. So I don't have my phone on me, but I'm gonna get that prepped so that way I can get my day started. Hey, mister, what do ducks like to eat? What do they like to eat? Quackers.
You put in for these.
So that's asking
Yeah.
how
Like that. It's like, so if there's 0.5 of the part, that baking soda, then it would like, let's say it would be like the smallest or the largest. It's like how you feel or how you think about it.
Thursday morning, 5th period. Actually I have 5 minutes before the start of my advisory class, and allergies are hitting me again. I was fine until like a few minutes ago. Same thing, my students are doing the lab today, so everything is set out. My students yesterday did a great job of cleaning up because I'm a stickler for making sure that my lab tables are clean and everything's wiped down before they go back to their seats. But they did a great job cleaning the lab tables and putting everything back. So my BD classes, my 6th and 7th period, they're doing the same thing today. Other than that, that's it, nothing new. I'm actually looking to start prepping for stuff once we come back from spring break because spring break is next week.
This balloon is flat.
Not. There you go, got it.
why is hers getting why is hers there? Mine's gonna pop.
Make sure you put 0 through that, so 0. If you don't do that, then we'll mark you wrong. Also make sure to write that on your sheet. How do you convert this?
The same, right?
I know, you know it. So what do you need in order to do that?
Oh my god, I just forgot.
Huh?
We did it wrong.
It is Friday, the day before spring break. It's my planning period. We're actually on a modified bell schedule today because there is a talent show during fourth period. So really, the latter half of my class is dependent on how many students purchased a wristband to go to the talent show. So today what we did, actually I utilized a feature in Canvas that I found out about during the last week of the fall semester during final exams. As students were doing finals, I was on Canvas like playing around with the features, and I noticed that it had this app called Mastery Pathways. And so basically what that allows you to do, in Google Classroom you can do this as well, is that you can branch students off. So there are students that, like, if they get the answer correct, it will send them one way, and if they get it wrong, it'll send them another pathway. But you can also do it if students, you want to offer choice. I did it last year during my unit after spring break with my biology classes. They got to pick which kingdom they wanted to select. So if they were interested in, animals, they can select kingdom Animalia first. If they were interested in bacteria, they can select, kingdom Eubacteria and go that way. So today, basically, the warm-up started with a couple questions and students, and the reason I did that was because I have some students in my class that are really advanced and they're in the top of their cohort, and sometimes they will struggle, but for the most part, like if I explain something to them, I can give them like a quick lowdown explanation and they will get it and they're moving on. So I wanted to give something to differentiate for those students, so that way sometimes they don't finish a problem, or they're not always continuously helping somebody. And these types of students, they like the challenge of me giving them. Sometimes they'll ask me, give me a hard problem. So I took the concept that they're learning right now, but I embedded a whole bunch of other skills into this one topic, so that way they can be off to one side working. So any student that got a certain score, they were working on the advanced problems. Students that got between, because it was out of 6 points total, so if you got a 4 out of 6, between a 4 and 6 points, you were doing the advanced problems. If you got a 3, then you got to decide if you wanted to do the advanced problems or you wanted maybe a little bit more tutoring because you were unsure. And then if you got below a 3, then it was tutoring with me. And I just went to the board and worked some problems. So this was great because I was able to work with students that were, iffy, and some students that just needed help. And through the process of working 1 or 2 problems, students were like, oh, I get this. So that was great. So I'm going to do that during my fourth period. And we'll see how that goes. Again, it's dependent on how many students stay or how many students purchase a wristband to go to the talent show. So my battery is about to die, so that's a sign for me to end here. And I don't know how much time I have left because we're on a modified schedule. Spring break is next week, so I am going to take care of some stuff right here. Well, that's it. If there was anything about this video that you liked, then make sure to hit that like button, comment down below, and or share the video. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe so that way you can bond with James. And if you're interested in checking out some of my other vlogs, you can do so by clicking on any of the links right here. As always, thanks for watching.